Most people think Finland is just frozen wasteland filled with boring Vikings who never speak. They couldn't be more wrong. This Nordic nation sits quietly in Europe's corner, letting everyone assume it's too expensive, too cold, and too antisocial to bother with. Meanwhile, locals are living their best lives on budgets that would make your jaw drop, surrounded by some of the world's most stunning natural beauty and surprisingly warm people once you crack their icy exterior. Finland isn't screaming for attention like other European destinations, but that's exactly what makes it fascinating. While tourists crowd into overpriced cafes in Paris or fight for space on Italian beaches, Finland offers something completely different. Authentic experiences without the tourist trap's incredible value for money if you know the tricks. And a lifestyle so refreshingly honest it might actually change how you see the world. You're about to learn how to live comfortably in one of the world's happiest countries. For just $600 per month, why Finnish women have a reputation that spans continents. And what happens when a nation decides silence is golden, but happiness is everything. This isn't your typical European adventure story. Finland doesn't play by the same rules as everyone else, and that's precisely why it works. The country that gave us Nokia, Linux, and Angry Birds has been quietly perfecting the art of living well, while everyone else was making noise about it. The nation famous for its introverted population has some of Europe's most vibrant underground music scenes and festival cultures. And those supposedly cold, distant Finns, they're just saving their energy for relationships that actually matter. Get ready to have every assumption about Nordic life completely flipped on its head. Finland isn't trying to impress anyone, which is exactly why it's so impressive. Finland stretches across 338,000 square kilometers of northern Europe, making it roughly the size of Germany, but with the population of a large American city. This massive country hosts only 5.5 million people, which means there's more space per person here than almost anywhere else on Earth. When Finns talk about personal space, they're not kidding around. The geography reads like something from a fantasy novel. 188,000 lakes scattered across endless forests, with trees covering nearly 75% of the entire country. This isn't just a lot of trees. This is a green ocean so vast that Finland produces more paper and timber than countries 10 times its size. Every direction you look reveals another lake reflecting pine trees that seem to touch the clouds, creating a landscape so pristine it feels almost artificial. Up north, Finland stretches beyond the Arctic Circle into Lapland, where reindeer outnumber humans and the sun disappears for months during winter. But this isn't the barren wasteland most people imagine. Lapland transforms into a winter wonderland that makes Disney movies look understated, complete with snow-covered forests, frozen lakes perfect for ice fishing, and aurora borealis displays that paint the sky in colors that don't seem possible in nature. Down south, Helsinki and other urban centers prove Finland isn't all wilderness and reindeer herders. These cities blend cutting-edge Scandinavian design with practical functionality in ways that make other European capitals look cluttered and chaotic. Finnish architecture doesn't scream for attention. It simply works perfectly, much like everything else in this country. The Baltic Sea wraps around Finland's southern coast, connecting it to Estonia, Sweden, and Russia through ferry routes that locals use like subway systems. This geography created a nation that had to be self-sufficient, practical, and incredibly resilient. When your nearest neighbor might be 50 kilometers away through dense forest, you learn to solve problems independently and appreciate silence in ways city dwellers never understand. Finnish geography didn't just shape the landscape, it shaped the people who call this place home. This isn't a country you can rush through or understand on a weekend trip. Summer temperatures can hit 30 Celsius while winter plunges to -30 C, creating two completely different countries depending on when you visit. They avoid small talk like plague, but will invite complete strangers into their homes if genuine friendship develops. Sauna culture goes far deeper than just sweating in hot rooms. For Finns, saunas are sacred spaces where business deals get made, family bonds strengthen, and social barriers disappear. There are over 3 million saunas in Finland, more than cars, and using them properly requires understanding complex social etiquette that visitors often miss entirely. Saunas aren't just about heat, they're about honesty, vulnerability, and connecting with others in the most authentic way possible. Sisu represents the Finnish spirit better than any other concept, usually translated as grit or perseverance. Sisu actually encompasses something much deeper, the quiet determination to push through impossible circumstances without complaining or seeking sympathy. Sisu is what helped Finland survive brutal winters, resist Soviet invasion, and build one of the world's most successful societies from scratch. It's not aggression or stubbornness. It's calm, methodical persistence that outlasts any obstacle. Daily life in Finland revolves around coffee consumption that borders on obsession. Finns consume more coffee per capita than any other nation on Earth, nearly 12 kilograms per person annually. Coffee breaks aren't just social customs, they're legal rights protected by labor laws. Finnish offices stop everything twice daily for coffee breaks that last exactly 15 minutes, creating social bonding moments that replace the small talk most cultures use for connection. This creates a society where public transportation runs exactly on schedule. Meetings start precisely when planned, and social events have clear beginning and ending times that everyone respects. The Finnish relationship with nature goes beyond appreciation into something approaching worship. Most Finns own summer cabins, called meki, where they retreat during holidays to reconnect with forests and lakes. Spending time at the meki isn't vacation, it's spiritual restoration that keeps Finnish society grounded. Finns find comedy in life's absurdities, rather than manufactured entertainment, creating a cultural appreciation for irony and understatement that makes their festivals and traditions surprisingly hilarious once you understand the context. Education and continuous learning form core Finnish values that extend well beyond formal schooling. Finnish libraries function as community centers where people of all ages gather to learn new skills, attend lectures, and participate in cultural activities. This creates a population that remains intellectually curious throughout their lives, contributing to Finland's reputation for innovation despite its small size. The concept of personal space in Finland extends beyond physical boundaries into emotional and social territories. Finns respect others' privacy so completely that nosiness or unsolicited advice are considered major social violations. This creates incredibly comfortable social environments for introverts, while initially confusing people from more gregarious cultures. Finnish cuisine challenges every stereotype about bland Nordic food, built around fresh, local ingredients that reflect the country's geography and seasons. Finnish cooking emphasizes pure flavors enhanced by traditional preservation techniques that date back centuries. This isn't molecular gastronomy or Instagram-worthy presentations. It has honest food designed to nourish people through harsh winters and physical labor. Rye bread forms the foundation of Finnish eating habits, appearing at virtually every meal in various forms. Finnish rye isn't the dense, sour bread found elsewhere. It's nutty, slightly sweet, and substantial enough to keep you satisfied for hours. Locals eat it with everything from salmon and dill to cloudberry jam, creating combinations that sound unusual but taste incredible. A single loaf of good Finnish rye bread costs about $2 and provides enough carbohydrates for several days. Salmon appears in Finnish cuisine in ways that showcase the country's maritime heritage and preservation expertise. Gravaloi, gravlax cured with dill, salt, and sugar, transforms fresh salmon into something completely different, while preserving it for weeks without refrigeration. Finnish salmon soup, loaded with potatoes, carrots, and fresh dill, provides complete nutrition for under $3 per serving when made at home using local ingredients. Karelian pies represent Finnish cooking at its most practical and delicious. These oval pastries fill with rice porridge and topped with egg butter seem simple until you taste how perfectly the textures and flavors complement each other. Street vendors sell them for about $1.50 each, making them ideal budget food that actually tastes amazing rather than just filling your stomach. Reindeer meat might sound exotic, but in Lapland it's as common as beef elsewhere. Lean, flavorful, and sustainably harvested, reindeer provides protein that's perfectly adapted to Arctic conditions. Restaurants charge premium prices for reindeer dishes, but local markets sell it affordably to anyone willing to cook at home. The taste resembles venison, but milder, with a richness that satisfies completely. Finnish berries deserve their own food category. Cloudberries, lingonberries, and blueberries grow wild throughout Finnish forests, free for anyone willing to pick them. These aren't ordinary berries. They're superfruits loaded with vitamins and antioxidants that help Finns survive brutal winters for centuries. Cloudberries sell for $20 per kilogram in gourmet stores, but you can pick unlimited quantities yourself during late summer if you know where to look. The coffee culture in Finland transcends mere caffeine consumption into social ritual that binds communities together. Finnish coffee is lighter roasted than Italian espresso, but stronger than American drip coffee, creating a unique flavor profile that locals consume continuously throughout the day. Coffee shops function as informal community centers where people conduct business, catch up with friends, and escape harsh weather. Traditional Finnish dishes like karjalan pasty, a hearty meat stew, can feed a family for days while costing less than a single restaurant meal. These recipes developed from necessity when ingredients were scarce and preservation crucial, but they create flavors that satisfy in ways modern convenience foods never achieve. Learning to cook traditional Finnish food dramatically reduces living costs, while connecting you to centuries of cultural wisdom. Alcohol in Finland follows strict government control that keeps prices high but quality consistent. Finnish vodka and gin rival the best international brands, while local breweries produce craft beers that showcase regional ingredients like juniper and sea buckthorn. Smart locals buy alcohol during ferry trips to Estonia, where the same products cost 30 to 50% less due to different tax structures. Finnish food culture emphasizes seasonal eating that connects people to natural rhythms most modern societies have forgotten. Spring brings fresh herbs and early vegetables that taste incredible after months of preserved foods. Summer explodes with fresh berries, new potatoes, and abundant fish. Autumn offers mushroom foraging and harvest celebrations. Winter focuses on hearty, warming dishes that provide comfort during long, dark months. Understanding Finnish food culture means appreciating simplicity over complexity, quality over quantity, and seasonal timing over constant availability. This approach creates deeper satisfaction with meals while significantly reducing food costs for anyone willing to shop and cook like locals rather than tourists seeking familiar convenience foods. Finnish women have earned international reputations for beauty, intelligence, and independence that reflect deeper cultural values about gender equality and personal freedom. This isn't about stereotypes or fantasies. It is about understanding how Finnish society created conditions where women thrive as complete individuals rather than conforming to limiting traditional roles. Finnish education system treats girls and boys identically from childhood through university, creating generations of women who expect equality as their natural right, rather than something to fight for. This shows up in dating culture as confidence, directness, and refusal to tolerate disrespectful behavior that might be accepted elsewhere. Finnish women don't play games or hint at what they want. They communicate clearly and expect the same honesty in return. The dating scene in Finland moves at a completely different pace than most cultures expect. Finns don't engage in casual flirtation or meaningless conversation, so initial interactions can seem cold or disinterested. However, when Finnish women decide someone interests them, they pursue relationships with the same direct approach they use for everything else. This eliminates much of the confusion and mixed signals common in other dating cultures. Finnish women's independence goes beyond financial self-sufficiency into emotional and social autonomy that can surprise men from more traditional backgrounds. They don't need rescuing, don't expect men to pay for everything, and don't define themselves through relationships. This creates partnerships between equals rather than dependent arrangements, leading to relationships built on mutual respect and genuine compatibility. Physical beauty in Finland tends toward natural rather than artificial enhancement. The combination of clean air, active outdoor lifestyles, and genetic heritage creates women whose beauty comes from health and confidence rather than makeup. And fashion. Finnish women typically embrace their natural appearance, while maintaining excellent physical fitness through activities like cross-country skiing, hiking, and swimming. Social life for young Finnish women revolves around friend groups that remain tight-knit throughout their lives. These aren't superficial social networks, they're chosen families that provide support, adventure, and honest feedback through all of life's changes. Men entering these social circles need to earn acceptance from the entire group, rather than just impressing one individual. Nightlife in Finnish cities offers plenty of opportunities to meet people, but the approaches that work elsewhere often fail spectacularly in Finland. Finnish women appreciate confidence but despise arrogance, value intelligence over flashy displays of wealth, and respond to genuine interest in their thoughts and opinions rather than physical compliments. The men who succeed in Finnish dating scenes tend to be those who can engage in meaningful conversations and share authentic interests. Finnish women's relationship with alcohol follows the same patterns as their male counterparts. They drink to socialize and celebrate rather than to escape problems or lower inhibitions. This creates social drinking environments where genuine personality emerges, rather than alcohol-fueled behavior that people regret later. Finnish women who drink maintain control and expect their partners to do the same. Career ambitions among Finnish women often surpass international standards due to educational opportunities and cultural support for professional achievement. Many Finnish women speak multiple languages, hold advanced degrees, and pursue careers in fields like technology, design, and international business. This creates partners who bring intellectual stimulation and professional success to relationships rather than depending on others for fulfillment. Transportation costs remain minimal due to Finland's excellent public transit systems and bicycle-friendly infrastructure. Monthly public transportation passes in Helsinki cost around $60 and provide unlimited access to buses, trams, trains, and even ferry connections. Smaller cities offer even cheaper transportation options, while rural areas often require bicycles or occasional bus travel that costs very little over time. Healthcare expenses are practically non-existent for EU citizens and minimal for others. Due to Finland's universal healthcare system, basic healthcare needs are covered at minimal cost, while more complex medical care remains affordable compared to private healthcare systems. In other countries, this eliminates the medical expense anxiety that plagues budget travelers in many destinations. Entertainment and social activities in Finland often center around free or low-cost options that provide more satisfaction than expensive commercial alternatives. Public libraries offer extensive programming including language classes, cultural events, and community gatherings. National parks provide unlimited outdoor recreation without entrance fees. Community centers host affordable fitness classes, workshops, and social events throughout the year. Seasonal employment opportunities allow temporary residents to earn income while experiencing authentic Finnish work culture. Lapland tourism creates substantial employment during winter months, while agricultural work becomes available during brief but intense growing seasons. These jobs often include housing arrangements that further reduce living expenses, while providing cultural immersion opportunities. The key to budget living in Finland lies in embracing local lifestyle patterns, rather than maintaining expensive habits from other countries. Finns have perfected the art of living well without excessive consumption, finding satisfaction in simple pleasures like nature access, community connections, and seasonal celebrations that cost very little but provide tremendous value. Clothing expenses decrease significantly when adopting Finnish approaches to seasonal dressing. Quality outdoor gear represents an investment that provides years of use in harsh conditions, while second-hand stores offer excellent selections of winter clothing at affordable prices. Finns prioritize functionality over fashion, creating wardrobes that work efficiently without requiring constant updates. Communication costs remain low due to competitive mobile phone markets and widespread Wi-Fi availability. Basic mobile plans with adequate data cost $15 to $25 monthly, while many public spaces provide free internet access. This connectivity supports remote work opportunities that can supplement income, while maintaining budget living arrangements. Understanding Finnish approaches to personal finance reveals cultural values that prioritize long-term stability over short-term consumption. This mindset helps budget-conscious residents make decisions that support sustainable living, rather than constant financial stress, creating lifestyles that remain satisfying even with limited resources. Finnish transportation systems reflect the country's commitment to efficiency, environmental responsibility, and social equality in ways that make getting around both practical and affordable. Understanding these systems opens up the entire country while keeping costs minimal and environmental impact low. Train travel in Finland operates with precision that makes Swiss railways look unreliable. The national railway company VIA runs services that arrive exactly on schedule, connect major cities efficiently, and provide comfortable travel experiences at reasonable prices. Helsinki to Rovaniemi takes about 12 hours by overnight train, offering sleeper car accommodations that eliminate hotel costs while transporting you across the entire country for around $80. Bus networks fill gaps in railway coverage, reaching remote communities and national parks that trains don't serve. Long-distance buses offer comfortable seating, onboard Wi-Fi, and reasonable prices for travel between cities. Regional bus systems connect rural communities to urban centers, making it possible to explore authentic Finnish countryside without requiring personal vehicles. Helsinki's public transportation system integrates buses, trams, metro lines, and ferry services into seamless networks that make car ownership unnecessary for urban residents. The HSL travel card provides unlimited access to all public transport modes for monthly fees. That costs less than a week of parking in most major cities. Trams run frequently throughout the city center, creating efficient transportation that doubles as sightseeing tours. Bicycle infrastructure in Finnish cities rivals Amsterdam's famous cycling networks, with dedicated bike lanes, traffic signals, and parking facilities designed specifically for year-round cycling. Even during winter, many Finns commute by bicycle using studded tires and appropriate clothing, proving that cycling remains practical in conditions most people consider impossible. Bike-sharing programs in major cities offer affordable transportation for short trips and recreational riding. Ferry connections link Finland to neighboring countries while providing scenic travel experiences that flights can't match. Regular ferry services to Estonia, Sweden, and Russia offer everything from budget overnight crossings to luxury cruise experiences. These ferries carry vehicles, making it possible to explore multiple countries by car while enjoying onboard amenities like restaurants, entertainment, and duty-free shopping. Domestic ferry services connect Finland's thousands of islands to mainland communities, creating transportation networks that serve both practical needs and recreational opportunities. Many island communities depend entirely on ferry services for access to healthcare, education, and employment, making these routes essential infrastructure rather than tourist attractions. Winter road conditions in Finland require understanding and preparation. That goes beyond simply having appropriate vehicles. Finnish drivers use studded winter tires that provide traction on ice and snow. That would be impossible with standard tires. Road maintenance keeps major highways passable even during severe weather, but secondary roads may become temporarily impassable during blizzards or extreme cold. Walking culture in Finland emphasizes practical footwear and clothing that enables year-round pedestrian transportation. Finns invest in quality boots with proper traction systems, waterproof outer layers, and insulating materials that maintain comfort during extended outdoor exposure. This approach makes walking a viable transportation option throughout the year rather than just during favorable weather. Car sharing services and rental options provide vehicle access when needed without the costs and responsibilities of ownership. Finnish car sharing programs offer everything from compact cars for urban errands to SUVs for wilderness adventures, with pricing structures that make occasional car use more economical than ownership for many residents. Airport connections to international destinations make Finland accessible from around the world, while maintaining competitive pricing for European flights. Helsinki-Vantaa Airport serves as a major hub for Asian flights to Europe, creating opportunities for affordable international travel that many Europeans overlook. Domestic flights connect Helsinki to Lapland cities quickly but at premium prices, compared to ground transportation alternatives. Understanding Finnish transportation culture reveals approaches to mobility that prioritize environmental sustainability, social equity, and practical efficiency over individual convenience or status displays. This creates transportation networks that work exceptionally well while supporting broader cultural values of community cooperation and environmental responsibility. The key to mastering Finnish transportation lies in planning ahead, embracing seasonal variations, and appreciating the journey as part of the destination, rather than simply focusing on getting from point A to point B as quickly as possible. Finland's natural attractions provide experiences that redefine what it means to connect with wilderness while offering activities that range from accessible to extreme, all within landscapes that seem designed by fantasy artists rather than geological processes. The Northern Lights in Lapland create displays that surpass every photograph or video you've seen, dancing across Arctic skies in colors and patterns that seem impossible in the real world. Optimal viewing requires understanding solar activity cycles, weather patterns, and light pollution factors that affect visibility, but the reward justifies any effort required. Prime aurora season runs from September through March, with peak activity occurring during the darkest months, when clear skies reveal celestial performances that humble human artistic achievements. Lapland's wilderness extends far beyond tourist centers like Rovaniemi into vast territories, where reindeer, Arctic foxes, and golden eagles inhabit landscapes unchanged since the Ice Age. Hiking trails wind through terrain that transitions from boreal forests to Arctic tundra, offering multi-day trekking experiences through some of Europe's last truly wild places. These aren't manicured nature walks. They're serious wilderness adventures that require proper preparation and respect for conditions that can become life-threatening without warning. Finland's lake system creates water recreation opportunities that exist nowhere else on Earth, with 188,000 lakes connected by rivers and streams. It's possible to canoe or kayak for weeks without repeating routes or encountering significant development. These waterways supported ancient transportation networks that connected communities across vast distances, creating paddling routes that follow historical paths through landscapes that remain pristine and wild. National parks throughout Finland protect ecosystems ranging from Arctic tundra to old-growth forests, each offering unique recreational opportunities and natural phenomena. Ulanka National Park features rapids, waterfalls, and hiking trails that showcase the transition between southern and northern Finnish environments. Eurokekkonen National Park in Lapland provides wilderness experiences comparable to Alaska or northern Canada, with opportunities for multi-day hiking, cross-country skiing, and wildlife observation in areas where human presence remains minimal. Summer in Finland transforms the country into a land of endless daylight, where the sun never fully sets above the Arctic Circle. This midnight sun phenomenon creates surreal experiences where time becomes meaningless, and outdoor activities continue round the clock. Hiking at 2 a.m. in broad daylight, fishing during what should be nighttime, and experiencing landscapes that glow with perpetual golden or light creates memories that challenge everything you thought you knew about natural rhythms. Cross-country skiing in Finland isn't just recreation. It is a cultural institution that connects modern Finns to centuries of winter survival traditions. Miles of groomed ski trails wind through forests and across frozen lakes, creating networks that make wilderness areas accessible even during deep winter. Finnish cross-country skiing emphasizes endurance and technique over speed, encouraging long-distance travel through winter landscapes that reveal beauty invisible during other seasons. Ice fishing provides access to fish populations that remain active throughout winter, while offering meditation-like experiences in frozen environments. Cutting holes through meter-thick ice to reach fish that many people assume hibernate requires understanding ice conditions, fish behavior, and safety procedures that can mean the difference between successful fishing and dangerous situations. However, the solitude and natural beauty of ice fishing locations provide psychological benefits that extend far beyond catching fish. Finland's mushroom and berry foraging traditions offer opportunities to harvest wild foods, while exploring forest ecosystems that support incredible biodiversity. Cloudberries, lingonberries, and various mushroom species grow abundantly in areas accessible to anyone willing to learn identification skills and respect sustainable harvesting practices. These activities connect people to traditional survival knowledge while providing gourmet foods that sell for premium prices in urban markets. Arctic Ocean access in northern Finland provides opportunities to experience true Arctic marine environments, where polar conditions create unique wildlife viewing and recreational possibilities. The combination of Arctic Ocean, tundra landscape, and boreal forest transitions creates ecosystems found nowhere else in Europe, supporting species and natural phenomena that exist only in extreme northern latitudes. Husky sledding in Lapland offers authentic transportation experiences using methods that sustained human life in Arctic conditions for thousands of years. Finnish police maintain community trust through approaches that emphasize service over enforcement, creating law enforcement relationships based on mutual respect rather than fear or antagonism. Traffic safety in Finland results from driver education programs, vehicle safety standards, and road design principles that dramatically reduce accident rates compared to countries with similar driving conditions. Winter driving training prepares drivers for conditions that would be impossible to navigate safely without proper skills and equipment. Understanding Finnish safety and social systems reveals approaches to collective well-being that prioritize prevention over punishment, cooperation over competition, and long-term sustainability over short-term efficiency. These systems work because they reflect cultural values that emphasize community responsibility alongside individual freedom, creating societies where people feel secure enough to trust others and contribute to shared prosperity. The integration of safety, healthcare, and education services creates comprehensive support systems that enable people to pursue personal goals and take reasonable risks without fearing that temporary setbacks will result in permanent disadvantage or social exclusion. Navigating Finnish bureaucracy and legal requirements for extended stays requires understanding systems designed for efficiency and fairness rather than complexity and exclusion. Though proper preparation remains essential for successful outcomes, tourist visas for Finland follow European Union Schengen Agreement rules that allow 90 days of travel within 180-day periods. For citizens of most developed countries, this provides substantial time for extended visits without requiring special permits, though overstaying these limits results in serious consequences that can prevent future European travel. Understanding entry and exit requirements prevents problems that could affect long-term travel plans. Student visa options provide pathways to longer-term residence through enrollment in Finnish educational institutions that offer programs taught in English. Finnish universities welcome international students while charging minimal tuition fees. Compared to other English-speaking destinations, student visas allow part-time employment and can lead to post-graduation work permits that extend residence opportunities for qualified graduates. Digital nomad residence permits represent newer visa categories designed for remote workers, whose employment doesn't depend on physical presence in specific locations. These permits recognize changing work patterns while providing legal frameworks for people who want to live in Finland while working for employers or clients elsewhere. Application requirements include proof of remote work capability and sufficient income to support Finnish living expenses. Seasonal work opportunities, particularly in Lapland tourism and agricultural sectors, provide temporary employment that can extend visits while offering authentic cultural experiences. These positions often include housing arrangements that reduce living expenses while providing opportunities to earn income and learn Finnish language and customs. Through workplace interactions, Language barriers in Finland are less significant than in many European countries. Due to widespread English proficiency among younger Finns and urban residents, however, learning basic Finnish phrases demonstrates respect for local culture while improving daily interactions with people who appreciate efforts to communicate in their native language, Finnish. Language courses are available through adult education programs that welcome international participants. Banking and financial services in Finland accommodate international residents through accounts and services designed for people without permanent addresses or extensive credit histories. Opening bank accounts typically requires proof of identity and address, which temporary residents can establish through housing contracts or institutional affiliations. Healthcare access for temporary residents depends on citizenship status and length of stay, with EU citizens receiving broader coverage than others. Travel insurance remains essential for non-EU residents, while understanding emergency medical procedures prevents confusion during health crises. Finnish healthcare providers typically speak English, but knowing basic medical vocabulary in Finnish can improve communication during treatments. Work permit requirements vary significantly based on employment type, duration, and applicant nationality. EU citizens can work freely in Finland, while others need permits that match specific job offers and employer requirements. Understanding these requirements before seeking employment prevents legal problems and ensures proper documentation for tax and social service purposes. Tax obligations begin immediately for anyone earning income in Finland, regardless of resident status or duration of stay. Finnish tax rates are high but provide extensive social benefits, while tax filing procedures require understanding obligations that may differ significantly from home country requirements. Seeking professional tax advice prevents problems with Finnish authorities while ensuring compliance with reporting requirements. Housing contracts and rental agreements in Finland include tenant protections and landlord obligations that create stable housing relationships when properly understood. Security deposits, utility arrangements, and termination procedures follow specific legal requirements that protect both parties when properly documented and followed. Insurance requirements beyond healthcare include liability coverage that may be mandatory depending on activities and residence arrangements. Understanding what coverage is required versus recommended helps temporary residents make informed decisions about protection needs while avoiding unnecessary expenses. Legal assistance resources are available through public services and private providers who specialize in immigration and temporary residence issues. Knowing when professional legal help becomes necessary can prevent minor problems from becoming serious complications that affect resident status or future travel opportunities. Understanding Finnish legal and practical requirements reveals systems designed to facilitate legitimate residence and work while maintaining security and social stability. Success requires preparation, documentation, and respect for procedures that reflect Finnish values of fairness, efficiency, and community responsibility. Finland offers experiences that challenge assumptions about Nordic life while providing authentic alternatives to overcrowded tourist destinations that have lost their cultural authenticity. This country operates according to principles that seem contradictory until you experience how they create some of the world's highest quality of life indicators. Alongside genuine cultural preservation, living in Finland on $600 monthly proves that expensive destinations often become affordable. When you understand local systems and embrace cultural approaches to daily life, the same country that charges premium prices to tourists offers sustainable lifestyles to residents who shop, eat, and live like Finns rather than trying to maintain foreign consumption patterns. In an unsuitable environment, Finnish culture rewards patience, authenticity, and respect for personal boundaries while providing profound friendships, community connections, and natural experiences that urbanized life rarely permits. The social systems that initially seem cold or distant actually create space for genuine relationships to develop without pressure or artificial expectations. That complicates social interactions elsewhere. The natural beauty of Finland extends beyond scenic vistas into lifestyle integration. That makes wilderness access a daily possibility rather than special occasion recreation. Living surrounded by forests, lakes, and clean air provides psychological and physical benefits that improve life quality in ways that urban amenities cannot match. While costing significantly less than city living expenses, Finnish approaches to work-life balance, environmental sustainability, and social cooperation offer models that address problems plaguing other developed societies. Understanding how these systems work provides insights applicable to personal life decisions, regardless of where you ultimately choose to live, while demonstrating that alternative approaches to common challenges often work better than conventional wisdom suggests. Whether extremes that discourage casual visitors become defining characteristics that shape resilient personalities and authentic cultural experiences. Learning to thrive during polar nights and midnight sun creates psychological strength and seasonal appreciation that transforms how you understand natural rhythms and human adaptation capabilities. The safety and social stability that Finland provides creates environments where people can pursue personal growth, take reasonable risks, and invest in long-term relationships without constant anxiety about security threats or social instability. This psychological freedom enables creativity and authentic self-expression that more chaotic environments often prevent. Finnish innovations in education, technology, and social services demonstrate that small countries can influence global development through excellence rather than scale, providing hope that individual actions and community cooperation can create positive changes. Despite larger systemic problems elsewhere, if you've made it this far, you're probably someone who appreciates authenticity over marketing, substance over style, and genuine experiences over Instagram opportunities. Finland rewards this approach to travel and life with experiences that transform perspectives, while providing practical models for sustainable living that work in the real world. Comment below with the number 3 if you're ready to trade Creditor's traps for genuine cultural immersion, and let us know which aspect of Finnish life interests you most. Whether it's the $600 monthly budget lifestyle, the natural beauty that redefines wilderness experiences, or the social systems that actually prioritize human well-being, Finland offers alternatives to conventional travel that prove different approaches often work better than popular options. The journey to understanding Finland begins with questioning assumptions about what makes life satisfying, what creates genuine security, and how cultural values translate into daily experiences that either enhance or diminish human potential. Finland provides answers that might surprise you, while offering opportunities to experience them firsthand, rather than just reading about theoretical alternatives. Your next adventure doesn't have to follow the same routes everyone else takes. Sometimes the most rewarding destinations are the ones that don't scream for attention, but quietly offer everything you've been looking for without realizing it existed.